Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Aim Saraswate Namaha. Om Shri Guruve Namaha. Our humble Sashtang pranams at the holy lotus feet of Pujya Gurudev, Pujya Shri Swami Jyotirmayananda Ji Maharaj of Yoga Research Foundation, Miami, Florida. Blessed Self, adorations, divine love, light, healing, bliss, prosperity to each one of you and your near and dear ones. Day 8. The Four Gatekeepers at the Palace of Liberation by Swami Jyotirmayananda Ji of Yoga Research Foundation, Miami, Florida. We will continue on the story of the wise rabbit. And if you remember well, we are on the pillar number 22, Vichar, spiritual enquiry. Day 7 we had ended with the last paragraph as prayers are answered miraculously, but we may not recognize them in this world full of unacknowledged miracles. If you are praying for wealth, God will not open up your roof and suddenly dump the treasure down. In some unique cases, He has done so. Probably you have not heard about the gooseberry story of a very poor lady where Adi Shankaracharya Ji went and knocked on her door to beg for food. And she was so poor but full of compassion. So she started looking for food in the house, looking for something that she would give to a sannyasi and not let him go empty-handed from her home, even though she was hungry herself. She was so poor. So she kept looking and she found a very kind of old, dry amla. Amla is a gooseberry. And she went and she put that in his begging bowl and said, "This is all I have." And then seeing her compassion, seeing her devotion, and seeing her full of love, Adi Shankaracharya Ji chanted some verses and prayed to Lord to provide her, fill her with golden gooseberries. So while he was chanting, the golden gooseberries started falling into her home and she became very rich. So this is the kind of unique story where she did not pray, but God Himself gave. So this is what happens when you have that faith and devotion, compassion. So miraculously, things happen. But nowadays, when people pray, "Oh Lord, oh God, heal me, may I get well," and when they don't, then they say prayers don't work. God does not provide. God does not heal, God does not listen. And then that person goes to the doctors, and the doctor gives medicine and some healing tablets, and that person gets well, and he says only doctors can heal. But he fails to realize and recognize or acknowledge that because of his prayers, he was guided to go to the doctor because he needed healing through medication. So this is what happens when you lack devotion and when you don't realize the truth behind your prayers, that God has listened and guided you in a different way. So with that, a little bit of that background. So in some unique cases, he has done so, just like the Amla story you have heard. But do not expect that all the time. Do not expect miracles to happen all the time. Your higher intellect has the answer in every situation. Even in practical life, through use of your intellect and prayer, you can defeat inimical forces. And that is when you have that devotion, that faith, that consistency of your prayers and devotion. So today we will hear the story of the rabbit. And this was a wise rabbit. So a parable is told that once in a forest, a lion became a very cruel, tyrannical king. Whenever he was hungry, he would pounce on animals and kill them, destroying more than he could eat. The animals got together, came to an agreement, and presented their appeal to the lion. "O great king," they said, "every day we ourselves will present you with an animal for each of your meals. Thus you will not have to exert yourself to find food, and we will be happier because you will not kill more of us than you need. In this way, there will be greater harmony in this forest." The lion thought it was wonderful that he would not have to get his own meals. And so he agreed that day by day, different types of animals came, and the lion continued to enjoy his life until it was the rabbit's turn. The rabbit thought his life was too dear to be lost, so he used his intellect to come up with a plan to save himself from the lion. On the day he was to be eaten, the rabbit arrived very late. The lion was doubly frustrated because first there was a delay, and second, his meal was to be such a small animal. The lion shouted, "How dare you come so late?" The rabbit answered humbly, "O great king, another lion caught me and said that I was his food. It took me a long time to convince him that my first duty was to you. As it was, I had to leave my twin with that other lion." When the lion heard about a second lion in his territory, he became very angry. "How dare another lion come into my forest?" he roared. Then he demanded to know where the other lion was. The little rabbit guided the lion to the edge of a well. The lion complained that he did not see any other lion in that area. The rabbit said that the other lion must have been terrified of the king and hidden himself in the well. The lion then looked into the well, and in it saw his own face reflected along with the face of a rabbit. thinking he was seeing his rival and the rabbit's twin. The lion was so agitated that he finally jumped into the well to show his rival who was the boss. Needless to say, the wise little rabbit lived happily ever after, as did the other animals in that forest community. The moral of the story is that although the rabbit was small and the lion so ferocious, the intellect surpasses all. The rabbit used his intellect and was able to free himself from that great calamity. He not only saved himself, but he restored peace and harmony in the forest. Similarly, by properly purifying the intellect through Vichar and allowing the intellect to regain its strength, you can defeat ignorance, which, like a lion, has rendered everyone like a rabbit. There is no remedy greater than Vichar for all the torments of the world process. So always evaluate, contemplate, and with faith and devotion, read scriptures, and while contemplating, you will find answers to your problems. So in the next session, we will have another story, Free Intellect from the Domination of Ego. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Humble Sashtang pranams at the holy lotus feet of Pujya Gurudev, Pujya Param Gurudev, to Pujya Adi Shankaracharya Ji, and to all saints and sages of the entire world. Our humble pranams, divine blessings to each one of you and your near and dear ones. Divine love, light, healing, bliss, peace, prosperity. Hari Om Tat Sat. This is Swami Lalita Priyananda from Sacramento, California, Integral Yoga Foundation. Hari Om Tat Sat. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.